Title: The Silent Watcher. Emma had always been drawn to the old house at the end of the lane. Abandoned for decades, its crumbling facade and broken windows intrigued her. One crisp autumn evening, driven by curiosity, she decided to explore it. Armed with only a flashlight, she slipped through a gap in the rotting fence. Inside, the air was stale and heavy with dust. The beam of her flashlight cut through the darkness, revealing tattered wallpaper and scattered furniture covered in white sheets. Emma's footsteps echoed as she moved through the rooms, each creak of the floorboards amplifying the silence. In what used to be the living room, Emma found an old, ornate mirror covered by a dusty cloth. She hesitated for a moment before pulling the cloth away. The mirror was cracked, but as she looked into it, she saw something odd. A faint, dark shadow seemed to flicker behind her reflection. Emma spun around, but the room was empty. She shook her head, attributing the shadow to her tired eyes. As she continued exploring, she felt an increasing sense of unease. The feeling of being watched grew stronger, and she could swear she heard faint whispers echoing through the halls. In the basement, Emma found a rusted old chest. Her curiosity got the better of her, and she pried it open. Inside, there were old photographs and a diary. She thumbed through the diary, its pages yellowed and brittle. The entries were about a family who had lived in the house long ago, their lives marred by strange occurrences and a growing sense of dread. One entry caught her eye. The Watcher is always there. We hear its whispers at night, see its shadow moving. It feeds on our fear. Emma's heart raced as she read the words. A cold shiver ran down her spine. Suddenly, she heard a loud crash from upstairs, followed by heavy footsteps. Her flashlight flickered and died, plunging her into darkness. Panic surged through her. She fumbled with the flashlight, finally getting it to work again. The beam revealed nothing but empty rooms and dust-covered furniture. She raced back to the stairs, but the door leading outside was now firmly shut. Emma pounded on the door, shouting for help. The whispers grew louder, more insistent. Desperate, she looked around for another exit. The shadows seemed to move on their own, closing in around her. As the whispers turned into eerie laughter, Emma noticed a figure in the corner of the room. Its eyes glowed with a malevolent light. She stumbled back, her heart pounding in her chest. The figure's shadow stretched out, reaching toward her. In a final act of courage, Emma grabbed a nearby vase and threw it at the shadow. It shattered, and for a moment, the room was silent. The figure's glowing eyes faded, and the whispers ceased. The door creaked open, and Emma didn't hesitate. She fled the house, not stopping until she was safely outside. As she looked back, the house seemed to watch her, its windows dark and empty. Emma never returned to the house, but she often wondered if the Watcher was still there, waiting for its next visitor. I hope this story gave you a thrill.